Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. And as you could see by the title of this video, we are packing together for our trip to Vegas. So we are getting married in Las Vegas, Nevada on October 9th. So I'm filming this a little bit early. We are packing today. Are planning on heading down to Detroit today. So then our flight leaves early tomorrow morning. I did not want to have to drive 2 hours even earlier than needed. We fly out at like 8 a.m. So we would need to be up and on the road by like 4 at the latest, so I did not want to deal with that. We are staying at the Sheraton in Detroit, but before we do that, I need to pack. So as you can see behind me, I have filled my island. I have a full clothing rack. I have a full bin of stuff that needs to be packed. So I'm going to take you along with me as we pack and prep for Vegas, but I have my packing list right here and I've been checking things off. I made this online, and then I also have a list for my detail shots as well for actual wedding day. So I broke it down into different categories, and then I've literally been crossing things off as I put them on the island, and then I will formally cross it off once it is in a suitcase. I do not pack lightly, and I don't feel bad about it. So Shane, he is a very small, minimal packer. I'm not concerned at all about him. He has been packed and ready to go since yesterday. He has like one bag. However, I will have my carry-on, my personal item, and probably 2 checked bags with all of our wedding day stuff. We have like champagne flutes and everything that is in protective packaging to make sure that it makes it to Vegas, hopefully. But all of that stuff to say would not fit in my normal suitcase, and I don't want to be shoving things where things could get damaged. So I also am a big fan of using packing organizers. So we take a laundry bag. This folds up super small, and then it's pretty big. So all of our dirty laundry we will shove in here for the entirety of the trip. I have little bags like this that I will keep when I get a like handbag or anything like that. I will store like shoes and bags in here so they're not getting everything around them dirty. I also will use shower caps to put on the bottom of my like tennis shoes if I put them in a bag. I have a big container of shower caps in here for that purpose. And then I have a set of packing cubes, and I have about 5 sets of packing cubes. We do travel quite often, so I love these. I found these at TJ Maxx, and if you see a set, I would definitely grab some. So this is my big one. It says away we go. And then there is also a medium-sized one and a small one in each pack. So this one says pack well, and then this one says going places. I swear by these. I feel like it makes packing so much easier, and then I know exactly what is what. So I will group everything in their different outfit categories. I keep one just for socks and underwear, and then I will literally just throw this in the drawer when we get there. I don't unpack everything just in case there's bugs or anything like that. And then it's very easy, convenient if for whatever reason at the airport you have to take things out of your suitcase. For example, when we went to Seattle, the wheel on the bottom of my suitcase was ripped completely off, and they gave me a new one. However, I needed to literally open up my entire suitcase right in the middle of the floor and take everything from one suitcase and put it into another suitcase. So it took me 5 minutes because everything was in a cube. Grabbed it, threw it in there, called it a day, but I can't imagine having stuff like scattered all over, and then too, you are more susceptible to losing things that way. But we're gonna get to packing. I'm going to insert the clips of me packing and prepping with my hair and makeup supplies right here. I always lay out all of my makeup products, literally everything I can possibly think of that I need to pack before I do my makeup, and then as I do it, I make sure to put it in the bag right away, so that way I know for a fact I have everything that I use on a daily basis. And then I've gone through all of these drawers and all of these drawers to make sure I'm not missing anything here. I also go through both these drawers just in case last minute I forgot to grab something, but this I will pack as I do my makeup this morning. This is where I'm at so far. So in this bag, I have all of my electronics, cords, chargers, like photo taking supplies, my mic is in here, etc. The list goes on. I have my emergency kit in my little bride pouch. This has literally everything I could possibly think of, so then I can easily just throw it in a bag if we're going somewhere. There's Advil in here, sunscreen, like all the things. I've got a little fan in there, an extra set of contacts, some jewelry wipes,
Literally, there's so much stuff packed in here. This I'm going to wear on the plane, so I kept that out, but I have to take that with me. I have this. It says emotional baggage, and this is what I keep my brushes in. It is literally so old. It is starting to fall apart, but got my glasses and my brushes. We have my jewelry holder, and I literally just throw everything in this pouch, and then it pulls together, and then it's like secure in there so that it's not flying around. I've tried putting it in these little slots, but I feel like it just ends up all over the place. This is where I keep everything. So all of my jewelry that I'm taking is in here. And then this just folds up. It's a nice hard case. So then that way I don't have to worry about anything getting broken. Then I have these two. So this one is hair supplies. I have a lot of my like spray type stuff, setting spray, my foundation. I have my wedding perfume. In the bottom, I have my hair kit that has all my bobby pins, an extra clip, my stitchy. I never go anywhere without this. This is my tried and true. Just in case, I always bring it with me. Got my hot pad for my hot tools, some like body wash, hair clips, some of the bigger stuff that doesn't really fit as nicely in here, but that's what's in here. And then all of my toiletries will also go in here. So toothbrush, body wash, hair, anything really I can fit in here will also go in here as well. And then this one is my big one. So let me get this one out of the way. I love this brand for travel items. I found this at TJ Maxx a while ago and I've loved it ever since. So I keep all of my makeup remover and then tools and whatnot in here. So I've got like nail clippers, tweezers, random stuff. I carry a tiny baby pair of scissors, like that type of stuff in here. There's extra bobby pins, Q-tips, all the things. And then I pack my everyday makeup in here as much as I can. I've got my prescription medication and whatnot. Then that way, wherever we go, I could hypothetically hang this up and let it hang if there's not space to set it down. But this is makeup, this is hair and makeup, this is technology stuff. I've got my brushes, my emergency kit. So now I'm ready to actually put this in my suitcase. And then I will also bring my hair tools. And then I always bring my mirror. I never go anywhere without my Impressions vanity mirror. I absolutely love it. And it's a great travel piece because it just pops apart really easily. This thing comes off and then the back of it, all of this pops out and then it condenses really small. I mean, as small as you can get it for this big of a mirror. This is what our island is currently looking like. I have a bin here. This is all extra clothing. I have underwear, socks, lingerie, pants, shorts, dresses, some stuff that I didn't have hanging up already. I just threw in here. I have a robe, our passports, my ring, some sunglasses, my vow book. There are hangers in here. I have a ton of shoes back there. We've got my bouquet. This is all stuff that I just packed. You guys seen that. I have some decorative hangers for our wedding day attire for the photographer. I've got handbags galore, literally so many handbags. The steamer, this I'm going to use for my perfume bottle and anything that is somewhat breakable, like the champagne flutes are in here. I have those packaged really nicely. This I'm going to put the bouquet in, and then I have a bag that I'm going to carry, so it'll be a bag within a bag. It'll make sense, hypothetically. I also have my feather burlesque fans right here. I'm going to leave them in the packaging, but these are going in an actual suitcase. These are just barely big enough to fit in a big suitcase, thank God. Got my details box right here for the photographer. So there's like extra bits and pieces, random things in there. And then we have our cake plate that I had custom made. Isn't that so cute? Bunch of other things, a lot of shoes, a lot of variation of shoes. I know I have a lot of shoes. And then here is the double rack that I have going. So I have a lot of my fun blazers in here. This one is new for the trip. This one is also new for the trip. I've had this one for a while, but I feel like it really fits the Vegas theme. I have my clubbing outfit, outfits for dinner, my airport outfit, a bunch of dresses and whatnot. This is for the night that we go to the Night of Kings dinner. We have some really fun events planned, and then these are just basics that I definitely want to take with us. I have my dress that I'm going to wear when we go to get the marriage license, and then my actual wedding dress is in this bag right here with my veil. And then I've got a couple skirts down here.
But this is the bag that I'm planning on taking. I've had this for a while and it's a pretty decent sized bag. That way we can just throw everything in there on wedding day and whatnot. And then this is gonna be my like carry-on type bag. In addition to my carry-on, this suitcase, that suitcase, we have Shane's carry-on down there, and then he also has a big suitcase as well. As you can see, I had a little helper throughout this entire experience. This is Winston's first time seeing a suitcase, and he was having a blast. He was running around every single suitcase he was in, out of. He fell asleep in one at one point. He just really likes to be the center of attention. My least favorite part of packing is the actual getting started because it seems so daunting, and I just know there's one big giant game of Tetris coming my way. Another thing that I really prioritize when it comes to packing, especially packing for long trips, I will put outfits together and double check that I have all of the shoes, undergarments, accessories, bags, everything that I need for that specific outfit based on what we're doing on the itinerary. So that way I'm not overpacking. And when I get to my destination, I'm not finding that I'm missing things. I swear by packing cubes because I always bulk like items with like items. So all of my pants are in one cube, all of my dresses are in another, tank tops, t-shirts, you name it, I bulk it together. Except sometimes I will build an outfit and put it together depending on how long we're traveling for, if it makes sense to do it that way. If I'm only bringing a couple outfits, I will bulk things together like that. But my biggest tip, instead of living out of your suitcase, right? When you get to the hotel, bring out your packing cubes, set everything out so you know what's what. That way you're not making a giant mess of your hotel room. If you need to find a pair of pants, you know exactly where they are. They're in the packing cube with the pants. This also helps you condense everything. If you've seen those like Ziploc bags that you can blow all the air out, you need a vacuum for them. It's kind of the same concept, right? So I pack a bunch of stuff, and instead of letting it just loosely be shoved in there, I'm able to condense it down, push all the air out, zip it tight, and that way it saves me a ton of space in my suitcase. And if for whatever reason something stains, something spills, it's not going to spill onto the clothing item, it's going to spill around the packing cube, and these are just plastic so I can easily wipe it off. So this has saved me more times than once, and I swear by these. I will always, always, always tell you, you need to buy the packing cubes, especially for big vacations. They will save your life. This took me hours, and honestly, after multiple breaks, crash outs, and attempted Tetris playing, you'll see me moving things around. It just really, honestly, is a trial and error at this point. I really try and focus on the items that I know, based on how the suitcase sits upright, are going to be at the bottom, and where the handle is, they are more than likely not going to be as thrown around as the inside. So I'm really trying to focus on that to make sure that things don't get broken. I am also absolutely terrified of losing a suitcase. Knock on wood, I have never had that issue before, but I do put an air tag in every single one of my suitcases. I attach it to the inside lining to make sure that I know exactly where that suitcase is. I track it while we're in the airport. I track it when we get on the plane. I track it when we get off the plane to make sure that it got from point A to point B.
but I also, as a precaution, split things up amongst the suitcases. So worst case scenario, if one thing gets lost, then I do have some backup items that are kind of split amongst. And for this trip in particular, I really focused in on my carry-on suitcase. My carry-on suitcase was essential. That was the biggest thing in terms of us going for our wedding. Every single thing that I needed for the wedding day itself, whether that be my shoes, my bouquet, my dress, my veil, the cake plate, the detail shots, all of Shane's wedding day attire, everything that I could possibly think of that was relevant to that day went into my carry-on suitcase to 100% prevent anything bad from happening. And it made me feel a lot safer when we were traveling, just knowing that I had it all right there with me, because anything else for the entire trip could be completely replaced. But the one thing that I did not want to deal with replacing things for was the wedding day. We spent so much time and money preparing and purchasing things. I can't imagine if my dress all of a sudden was just lost in an airport somewhere, or my wedding day shoes or anything like that. That was really imperative to the day. So that would be my biggest tip if you are traveling for your wedding. Take the things that are the most important that cannot be replaced with you in your carry-on. They were super great. We always fly Delta and we never have any issues, but the flight attendant was super nice. She let me store my dress hanging upright in the first class little hanging area. So then that way I wasn't getting crinkled and I didn't have to shove it in a suitcase or anything like that. You guessed it. We have to buy another suitcase. Here is the final result, and we're gonna get it packed up in the car and head to the airport.